Okie dokie. Time for my lying pee-pee. Which is probably the most original joke anyone's ever made in regards to the title of this game. I would love to, like, if I had the time, I would go through, like, every Let's Player that's done this and just compile all the dumb puns they've made out of the title. Alright, so I don't. Triangle is select. Okay, sure, why not? HDR, my computer, my TV does not support that. Turn that up a dot. Why is triangle okay? That's weird. Alright, I don't. Functions and text is down. Okay, you could have given me time to actually read that. Just a thought. You could have given me time to actually fucking read that. Oh, but you'll give me time to read your fucking EULA. Settings. HUD on. Blood. Who turns blood off? Seriously. Who turns blood off in a video game? I get it if you're, not hemophiliac, because that means you bleed a lot, but, like, hemophobic or whatever. Like, if you legitimately have a fear of blood, I get that. Makes me think of when I played, God, what was that game I played? Weird West or Wild West or Evil West, something in the West that was like a weird God of War clone. Even though for some reason I've heard other people talk about that game and I'm the only person that's compared it to God of War, even though the gameplay style is the exact same. The camera is the exact same. Even the way you open chests is the exact same. There's so much similar. I don't know why. But it reminds me of how that game did the thing where you could turn on arachnophobia mode. And it's like, I'm sorry, but that's one of two things. That's either like a marketing stunt. I didn't follow the marketing for that game, so I don't know, but that's either something that they like mentioned in the marketing to like drive home how creepy the spiders were, or it's like someone on the dev team had arachnophobia, because there are so many other phobias that you could have in that game that could be triggered by that game. For them to just like zero in on that specific one, it just seemed weird to me. Attack direct. Even if lock on is not activated, attack direction will be adjusted towards nearby enemy. I don't want that on. I don't want that on specifically because sometimes stuff like that can like screw you over, because like there might be like an enemy that's slightly further away than an enemy that's next to you, and you might want to attack the enemy that's further away, and then he'll turn and attack the one that automatically changes when current target. Sure, why not? Set the degree to which distance from target is considered when locking. The easier to lock on to enemies in the center of the screen. The higher the number, the easier it is to lock on enemies that are closer to you. I'm gonna put that a little low because I want to be able to point at something and lock onto it and not have it just randomly lock onto something off screen, because you'd think that like an enemy nearby would be a bigger threat, but sometimes that's not always the case. Camera. Turn off camera shake. That stuff makes me nauseous. And we'll leave that be. General volume, we'll turn that down so that the Let's Play can be Let's Playable. Turn the voices up. I love how graphics is just adjust brightness. Like if this was like a PC, like I don't know if this game's on PC, but if this was like a PC version, there'd be like a huge list of shit here. But it's like at this point, like why even have that as a section in the thing? Controller vibration, I'm going to turn that off just because the vibrator in my controller doesn't work. Alright. Wait, online store. Does this game have microtransactions? I don't know how I feel about that. Hold on, I need to do something. I noticed this when I was playing, in honor of the great writer Carlo Collodi. Okay, time to
hear me?
Time to Google Carlo Collodi. Carlo
Geppetto's
Collodi.
puppet.
Geppetto's puppet. I'm guessing he wrote Pinocchio. Yep, he wrote Pinocchio. Okay, sure, why not? So apparently this game is about Pinocchio. Like I said, I've seen like a little bit of gameplay of this. I don't have a fucking clue what it's about. I just noted that it's like a Souls-like. And there was a free demo for it. And that you move very fucking slow.
Ah, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Well, I don't know where the fuck you are. I look like some fucking early 2000s boy band reject. You know, every Souls game I play has that same fucking animation where if you try to use an item and you don't have it, they reach to the pouch and then they just look at it like, huh? I'm not complaining. I like that. What's Arms of Steel? Does that not Oh, that doesn't regenerate. That does not regenerate. Okay, so we've got a syringe that I can't use, and it looks like one of those little viewfinders that you hold up and you press the button and it flips between images and you get to see stills from The Lion King. I don't fucking know. Game looks pretty. But I can't run. Interact. Oh yeah, there was something that fuck. I won't be able to do this without... I'll put up with it for this recording. What it is the TV I'm using, I don't think is... it's an older TV that I'm borrowing. And I don't think it's like set up correctly for what are words for gaming? Because like when I was playing the Resident Evil 4 remake demo before this, the X and circle at the bottom of the screen to like confirm stuff was kind of cut off a little. And in this, I don't know if it's supposed to be like this. Maybe I'll check out some other footage of people trying it out. I know David did play the demo on his channel, so I'll check that out later. But during loading screens, there's like this little clockwork little thing up in the corner, and like I'd say like 20% of that is cut off for me. So I need to, yeah, like just now when that little clockwork thing. Like, okay, if you look at it, there's 3 circles inside it. There's like the big red outside, and then there's 3 circles inside it. And there's the big one and the 2 little ones. The big one just touches the edge of the screen. So everything beyond the edge of the big circle of the big gear is cut off from me. And I don't know how if that's how it's supposed to be. I cannot use that. Okay then.
Jiminy will restart soon.
I see they got Jiminy too. But we have to hurry.
Who the fuck is Gemini? Why do I get the feeling
Please
that
Hotel Krat.
my
I'll
enjoyment
explain
of
what's
this
happening.
game would be enhanced if I had ever
Jiminy,
read
please escort
Pinocchio?
him to the hotel.
I've never read that. I mean, I've read a lot of classics. That just happens to be one I haven't read. So I can turn on and off a candle. Oh, and now I can
Let's
open
get
it.
you out of there. Find something that might help.
Okay. Will this bloody blanket help?
But the streets are not safe. Arm yourself with one of the weapons over there.
Arm yourself with one of the weapons
It'll be
over
helpful
there.
on your way to the hotel.
Okay. Path of the cricket. Path of the bastard dexterity. Path of the sweeper. Well, you know I'm going dex.
Destination
I go
Hotel
dex all the way.
Recommend escaping from this location.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Back up. If I had chosen the other one, would I get the curved sword? Because curved swords are usually dexterity swords. Can I... Is this like, I can get the top hat? I can get a dapper hat. I'm assuming this is gonna be like typical Souls kind of stuff where your starting stuff doesn't matter that much. And a rapier isn't that bad. You know, fuck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't handle it. I can't. I can't. Wait, continue? Fuck. That's not what I meant to do. Wait, the loading screen is his nose growing? That's, is that like an in-game mechanic? Like if I lie to NPCs, will my nose grow? And then, like, if it gets long enough, can I use it as a weapon? That would be hilarious. Now, if a game is going to let me use a curved sword, I need to use the curved sword. That's just... It's just the fucking law. And I'm sorry for any dippy dop dop bop bop bops on the microphone.
Can you hear me?
The setup I'm currently using isn't very good compared to my other setup.
Geppetto's puppet.
Can I skip this?
We need your help.
No? Okay. Okay, my only hope for this is that it doesn't retread the tired concept of like, oh, what is free will? If it's just a puppet, does it have free will? Oh my god, does it have a soul? How much emotion? Blah, blah, blah. There's been 2 movies in existence that have done that in a way that I enjoyed. And that was Terminator 2 and Chappie. Those are the only 2 movies that have done the whole does a robot, which granted he's not necessarily a robot, he's more of a puppet, but the whole does a robot have a soul? Can you feel for it? And I guess WALL-E, but that was Pixar in its heyday, so that gets a free pass.
Ah, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Jim, we will restart soon.
I see they got Jim. My name is Sophia. Please come to Hotel Krot, and I'll Jiminy, please escort him to the hotel.
So Jiminy Cricket is in the lamp. I mean, yeah,
Let's
sure,
get you out of
sure,
there.
why not?
Find something that might help.
Wait, is it gonna make it so that the curved sword is like the strength build? Because curved swords are not strength builds. That big ass thing over there, that's the strength
streets
build.
are not safe. It'll be helpful.
Yeah, because I can see the big ass thing over there. Balance with both power and speed. Nimble, distract enemies using physical strength. I'll go balance.
Destination Hotel Krot. Recommend escaping
There we
from this
go.
location.
Now we got a curved sword. Look, I'm just gonna say it's been like 800 different Souls games so far. Can we please stop making our weapons bounce off walls if you're not going to do the same for the enemy? Because I'm just really getting sick of that. Well, granted, I've just started this, so for all I know, enemy weapons do bounce off walls. But I've yet to play a Souls-like where your weapon can bounce off walls, nullifying your attacks, and the enemies can't. I think the more important question is, can I detach this arm and ride it around like a skateboard? There is a game where you can shoot your arm off, jump onto it, ride it around like a skateboard, and do kickflips. If you don't know what a game I'm talking about, fuck you. Because it's one of the greatest games ever made. Alright, what do we got here? Okay. Do we have iframes? We need to figure out if we have iframes. It doesn't seem like we have iframes. It seems like this game is more like What's my extra bag? Character die. Okay. I can guard. Which, like, here's the thing. Not every Souls-like has to have iframes. Like, I feel like when people make Souls-like games, what's L1 plus triangle? What's triangle in and of itself? I got 2 moves down there that I can't use, and that bothers me. Anyway, I'm gonna die soon.
Welcome to Crop Station, everyone. Here you will witness the most spectacular display of human endeavor on Earth. If Crop is your final destination, we wish you a safe and prosperous day.
Sawtoothed wheel. The fuck am I doing? Sure, why not? Use a pulse cell to recover HP. There's a maximum number. So there's your X. There's your Estus. Okay, sure, why not? Cool. I will say that this is a rather unique setting for a Souls-like. I don't think I've ever played a Souls-like set in a... I almost want to say Victorian setting, but that's Bloodborne. But, like, more of like a steampunky kind of setting. Is there stealth in this game? There is not. Where'd the other dude go? No. There were 3 dudes. I'm not... There you are. See, I don't want to use my left arm too much. It does a lot of damage, but I don't know how to refill it just yet. Did that hurt me? Ooh, hello. How do I run? Circle. Okay.
You cannot see in the dark. Switch me on and gently light away.
Oh, you got a gun. Lie or die. What if this is like Dragon Rot and every time I die, instead of like the villagers getting Dragon Rot, my nose gets bigger? Let's take a look at my nose. Take a look at that schnoz. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of cute. I mean, no homo, but like, I mean, like, you know, I'd do them. No, what it is I'm a sucker for freckles. Like, you put freckles on someone and that's it. Like, I'd fuck Morgan Freeman. I don't give a shit. Oh, God. It's too bad that, like, I don't have a editing computer anymore. And I can't, like, you know, really devote the time to edit videos. Because, like, I could using Share Factory, but it's such a slog to, like, re-render and everything. Like, every little edit you do, you gotta re-render it. Because I miss being able to, like, just take, like, out of context. And David, comment below if you missed this part of my channel history, where I would just take little out of context statements and just put it at the beginning of the video. I missed that. Oh shit! I didn't know this, but the left arm of steel, I can charge that shit up. I can charge... Oh, dude. Dude. See how it says 235 up there, but then under it, it says 282? I think that's how much I'll lose if I don't get my... And is that unique? Like, has there ever been a game that did that before? I'm guessing there probably has, but this is the only game I can think of that's ever done that, where it actually tells you how much you're gonna lose. Because obviously there's gonna be times when you're, like, in the thick of battle and... Yep. Like, there's gonna be times when you're in the thick of battle. Not what I meant to do. But, and, like, you'll die, and you'll be like, fuck, how many souls did I have? Use belt. Activate upper belt slot, lower belt slot. Use... Okay, so... Hold down to activate the extra... Yeah, I get that. My extra bag, the only thing I have is my, geometry item. I always call that the geometry item because the only... Other than, like, speedrunners, the only viable reason to ever use that item is if you get stuck in geometry. Which is, it's ironic that that item exists, because in all of my Souls history, I see you. Asshole. What's thermite? Aww. I wish there was like a... I still don't know what this does. I still don't know what this does. Well, let me check my inventory. Repairs weapon durability. Weapon durability decreases each time you attack. Use the grinder to repair when durability. Okay. Well, then how do I see what my durability is? I don't know where to see where my durability is. Anyway. Oh, fuck. I used a thing. And I... It's okay. This is just a demo. I'm learning. I'm learning. But I am a little disappointed that there's no photo mode. At least there doesn't seem to be one. Controller. Play records menu. Because I always like to, I always like to zoom in on like things like this, and it's kind of sad when, because here's the thing, they don't make assets this blurry. There's no, like, maybe back on like the SNES days and shit, but no one makes assets, just makes them this blurry from the get-go. They make the assets, and then sadly, when it comes to optimization and getting a good frame rate, stuff like this is usually the first thing on the chopping block, and that breaks my heart. It really does. Because there's often like really cool like little details. And mirrors don't work, which doesn't bother me. Like, I've watched like whole documentaries on how all the different types of tricks. There's several different types of tricks that are used to make mirrors work. One of them is, and I don't think, well, it could be the case here. One of them is to just literally have a copy of the room on the other side of the mirror with a copy of your character doing the exact same thing you're doing. And that's how they make mirrors work. Another is to do what, kind of what Portal does with different viewpoints. And just have one viewpoint be the mirror. So there's different ways that, and there's kinda some reflection. And I don't know if this is like a console exclusive. I don't know if it's on PC. I wouldn't be surprised if on PC maybe the mirrors work. I know David played the demo for this. So after I finish playing it, I'll check out his video, and if he played it on PC, then maybe there will be mirrors. Hi. Did I fuck that up? I feel like I fucked that up. How far will you chase me? This is another, like, fun thing to find out in a Souls game is how far will the enemies chase you before they say fuck it and go home. And he'll chase me pretty far. Oh, I need the key. Okay, can I circle strafe and backstab? Yes, I can. Nice. You know, one Souls-like I'd like to give another try to is the Surge. I made it a little ways into that, and I ended up rage quitting just because, like, I feel like that game was not designed for my playstyle in mind. Like, in general, I like to play games, you know, quick and, like, dodgy and stuff, but I really feel like that's one game that was designed to really just like gear out your guy and just fucking have like a big weapon. And so I might get back into that game someday, because there was bosses that, even though like after doing some googling I was at the like recommended level for it that I was just barely doing any damage to. And then they would kill me in like 2 hits. And maybe it's meant to be like that. Maybe the game was just meant to be that difficult, but like usually I like to play, you know, quick characters with shorter swords, you know, more realistic swords. And that like I've said before, that's something that drives me crazy about the Soul series. As much as I love it, it pains me how they wear their berserk influences on their sleeves, and they make the bigger weapons like overpowered on purpose. And like, I know I've ranted about this before, but I'm gonna rant. You know what? You know, I'll run in circles because it's not a true rant unless I run in circles. Those games are easier if you use a big weapon. A lot of people like to say magic is easy mode. No. Great swords are easy mode in Souls games. And the common defense that people who use them will use is like, oh, but you gotta time your attacks because if you miss your attack, then you're left wide open. Left wide open to what? Taking 0 damage with your heavy armor and taking no poise damage because you're all hoveled up? No. And this is not me just, you know, being bitter. I've tried using big weapons in Souls games. I did a playthrough of Dark Souls 1 where I went for the, you know, giant swords and I went for the giant armor and stuff. I am not joking when I tell you I fell asleep while playing that game. It was so fucking mind-numbingly easy to play with really big weapons and really big armor that it literally put me to sleep. You do not have to try whatsoever. At least with magic, you're a glass cannon. Yeah, you can... There's some bosses that... especially, and the funny thing is, like... I see people, like, especially with Elden Ring, I'll see people, like, point to certain spells that will, like, one-shot bosses as, like, see how overpowered it is? It's like, dude, you're pointing at a spell that's a late-game spell that you have to go through a really lengthy quest, and you're using it on an enemy that you will have encountered long before you can even get that spell, which means you had to have run past that enemy. You had to have run past that boss to get that spell or be on New Game Plus. And it's just, ugh. Like, and I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to knock people that like the big weapons. I get it. You know, back when I played, you know, Final Fantasy VII, I always thought it was so cool to have that, you know, giant Buster Sword. I always thought that was badass. But like, at the end of the day, I like a modest curved weapon. You know? Maybe it's because I don't feel the need to compensate. Okay, that's a low blow, but I just like the swashbuckling pirate aesthetic. And it's funny too because I love dual-wielding scimitars, and a lot of people, anytime I mention that, a lot of people say, "Oh, you like Drizzt, don't you? You like Drizzt from the Forgotten Realms books?" Like, no, not really. I've never even read any of his books. The only Forgotten Realms books I've read was the War of the Spider Queen series because I got a box set for Christmas once, and one of the Elminster books because I checked it out from the library on a whim. I've never even really read the Forgotten Realms series. My love of dual-wielding scimitars actually comes from 2 different places. First, it comes from pirates. Like when I'd see like old movies like, you know, Peter Pan and just like old pirate movies, and they'd have like those scimitars, although some of them were falchions, and I'm not going to get into the difference between a scimitar and a falchion. There's a lot of different types of curved swords There's Shamshears. There's a lot of different types of curved swords, and the differences are kind of negligible. So splitting hairs over which is which, like this right here, I would say this is bordering on being a Shamshear, because let's see if it actually says what it is. Yeah, it's a saber. Because it doesn't have the notch at the end of it, so which would be what makes it a scimitar, and it's not thick enough to be a falchion. So it's more of a saber. If it was a little thinner, like if you can imagine a katana fucked a scimitar, so you have the thinness of a katana but curved at the end, that would be a Shamshear. And Shamshears are actually my favorite type of sword of all swords, but they're almost never, ever in video games. I know there was one you could find in Elden Ring, but I didn't find that until like I was almost done with the game in some side dungeon. But anyway, that's where my love of like curved swords come from. It's from like pirates and stuff. And then I'm going to lay a bit of cringe on you, but my love of dual wielding comes from Kingdom Hearts. Specifically Kingdom Hearts 2, where you could dual wield the Keyblades. I always thought that was so fucking badass looking. Like dual wielding swords. I just always loved the way that looked. So that's those two things combined, and that's why I enjoy dual wielding scimitars. How much time do I have left? How long has this fucking rant been? Which, David, let's be honest. Would you... wouldn't you be disappointed if there hadn't been a rant? Wouldn't you be really upset with me if there hadn't been a rant? I mean, let's be honest. That's what you tune into this channel for. If anyone finds this note, get out of the station and run. I'm not really going to pay attention to notes, because if I end up playing this game, I'll worry about the notes then. Oh, you can't jump in this game. I'm so used to... Wait. You can jump by running and then clicking. Oh, I bet there's some crazy ass sequence breaks you can do with this game. Man, I really want to get into speed running. David, did you ever watch my Elden Ring speedrunning video? I don't think you ever... I can't remember if you ever did. But it drove me crazy that I step by step learned that speedrun. I even had to go... This was before I had internet, so I had to use a bunch of weird backwards methods to do it. But I went through the trouble of downgrading my game version to before the Hoarfrost Stomp was nerfed. And I learned step by step every single element of the speedrun, only to discover that like 4 steps before the speedrun was over, I couldn't do it because I was on console. And the limited frame rate made the what you had to do pretty much impossible. And I grinded at that spot for like 3 hours trying to get it to work. And I could almost never get it to even come close to working. So I think if I ever do, you know, give speedrunning another try, what I'll end up doing is I'll speedrun a console exclusive. So I know that like everyone, like all the speedrun is like on even ground. Maybe I'll speedrun the Uncharted games. Those seem like they could have some fun sequence breaks. Cause like, yeah, I know how to jump. I don't know why. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I am Did you just get back up? No, you were a different guy. I'm not gonna lie. That's something that I'm not sure I've ever seen in another game. Now, granted, most of the time when I play Souls games, I use smaller weapons. So maybe this is something that happens with the bigger weapons. I wouldn't know. But when I was doing my backstab on him and it was doing the animation, it did damage to the guy next to him when it hit. And that is really fucking cool. I like that. But yeah, back to what I was originally saying. I might get back into fuck, what is it? The Surge. And instead of trying to, like, be precision, because, like, I wanted to be precision and, like, cut off limbs and stuff, but, like, and granted, I will admit that, that was a point in my life where I was dealing with some shit, and so me rage quitting came a lot easier than it would otherwise. So maybe, like, I might give the smaller weapons another shot and just put in some more time grinding and learning the mechanics. But with that game, the way you're, like, you know, all cyber modified and shit, I feel like that's one game where I could probably get into using, like, the oversized weapons. I don't know. Now, what happened down there? Yikaruni. Can I go down there? I cannot. Oh, there's stairs. Use stairs, dumb fuck. So, the name of this place is just Krat. That's what we're calling it, Krat. We're just calling this place Krat. I mean, I guess. Will this refill my... Witness the greatest show on earth? See, this is where I got my, my Vile things, but it doesn't look like I can refill them there. Alright, so I have enough blue points, which I don't know how I get blue points, but I have enough blue points to do that move again. And I want to see what... Guard damage. Fable are... Okay, so... 3 blue things, which I don't know how to get, is Storm Slash, but 1 will be Concentrate. Increases attack temporarily. But how do you get the blue shit? I don't know how to get the blue shit. Wait a minute, can I... So you can have 2 different weapons equipped. That's cool. But the way that's like... Puppet, saber, handle... Can disassemble. So, like, I could, like, theoretically, have this sword, but with a different handle. That's neat. Oh, shit. I'm just gonna sneaky up on you. Or not. Alright, if there's any time to do this, it's now. Okay. Now lying. Don't you think you're driving the whole thing a little home too hard? And how do I level up? Okay, now I can go through here. I can go through here. Let me just grab these right quick. Okay, so there does seem to be some iframes. Oh, there's stamina. There's stamina. Ouch. Ouch. The enemy is about to be groggy. Hold for a charged attack. Okay, I don't think I did that correctly, but... So when they're groggy, hold for a charge attack, and then you can do, whatever the fuck other thing, an R1 thing on them. What is a sawtoothed wheel? I've gotten a bunch of those. Where's my inventory? It's a throwing object. Can be thrown to draw an enemy's attention. Even worthless items can be collected. Everything becomes useful in battle in the paralyte. Huh. Can you do the skull trick and throw it into a fire and make them walk into the fire? I would say that I'm disappointed on how little you can break in this game. Like, in terms of, like, right, but I do get that, and I learned this the hard way when I was doing game development, is that the more physics objects you have in your game, the laggier it makes it. Like, one of the main ways I was able to, like, make certain sequences work without lagging is by just picking tons of objects that otherwise you'd be able to pick up and just set them to static. Because once you set an object to static, now I'm not speaking for every engine in existence, but for at least the Amnesia engine, once you set an object to static, it's no longer being affected by, like, the game's physics, so that's calculations that don't have to be done. And I was able to, like take areas that were, like, lagging to hell and back and make them smooth by just going through the level and just picking random stuff that the player would have no reason to pick up. So, like, David, I know it's been a long time since you played, but if you ever remember trying to pick something up and wondering why you couldn't pick it up, that's why. Because I had to set it to static so that it wouldn't, Anyway, now that I beat this guy, I'm gonna end this here, and I will continue this demo in the next one. Thank you for watching.